The views and opinions expressed on The Big Llama Show are those of the host and guest. They do not reflect that of our sponsors, advertisers, or employers. Enjoy the show.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are live.
Yeah, it's in the she ruckus. Dead beat, let's go, let's go, let's go, let's go.
Wagon to the million, Louis V about that. Stacking paper limitless, what you know about that? I'm getting paper, seats in the club, hands up in the air. Wagon to the million, Louis V about that. Stacking paper limitless, what you know about that?
Hey everybody, welcome to The Big Llama Show. I'm The Big Llama. We are live. It's Sunday night. We are excited and anxious to get started, but we can't get started without my co-host, Blackout AD. Mr. AD, welcome to the show, sir.
What up, Llama?
What's up, man?
Not much, man. Another week, we're here. Another consistent stream from the two most consistent Sunday night streamers.
There you go. The most consistent show on the interwebs. Anywhere, Sunday nights, 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, you will find this show live every Sunday night, 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Whether it's me, whether it's AD, whoever, this show will go on no matter which one of us is here or not here. Something will be playing at 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
Yep.
I think one time we're just going to need to do a replay. I think we've said that. We're going to just do a replay and see if you can figure out if we're live or not. That'd be great. Somebody interacting with us during the show.
I don't get it. They're not answering me.
I don't get what they used to put everything up on the screen. Oh, man. Listen, I've been repping these Big Llama shirts, man. Again,
yes,
shout out to Hercules Outlaw for hooking me up with the design and go to the merch store. We got some people in here. We got some people up in the chats.
Yep.
So before we start talking about things, let's see who we got here. Hercules was on here early. He said, if you haven't subbed to the Big Llama Show, what are you doing? Exactly. You're missing out on the greatest show on the internet today.
Yes, sir.
There you go. We got to say it. Just got to say it and make it reality. AD's throwing ADs in the chat for those of you on Twitch. If you're following AD, go to Twitch, Blackout AD, Blackout_AD, and throw up those Twitch emojis and emotes and all that good stuff. I had just wrote here that our topics tonight was just talking about we're going to talk Moon Knight tonight. We're going to get to Moon Knight for sure. There was a fight night, UFC 273. AD's going to break down those matches, and then we're going to talk about the box office and Sonic 2. Those are just preliminary. This show could go anywhere. Like, that's our plan, right? That's the plan we want to go with. But shit, if the chat takes us somewhere else, that's where we're going to go, because the chat really drives the show for sure. Jay Birdie, Big Llama time, B words. Oh, that's right, bitches.
Yeah, I was like, see if you got it. Yeah,
I'm getting better at reading these chats.
But caught in the flocking house.
That's it. That's how we get by it. It's a PG-13 show. We use the word flocking.
Yep.
Big homie, like a true fan, I've left watching the Yankee game for the best YouTube show around.
Hey, big words from the big homie himself.
That's right, man. That's high praise, man.
High praise
when you got to leave the Yankees game to watch
Yankees
this show.
also suck.
Well, that's it. You're going to say that, If you want to watch a losing baseball team, Anyway, I don't know if they're good or not. I haven't really paid attention to the Yankees, but who does? Anyway, Jay Birdie, it will be the best live-action Sonic movie featuring Knuckles of all time.
Ooh,
okay, yeah, we're gonna talk about that.
We'll talk about it.
Somebody, and we'll save it. We'll save the discussion for that. Let's see.
Goliath.
Okay.
Yes, sir. My boy Drayden, how's it going?
You got Ace. Who's Ace?
Mrs. Too Raw.
Oh, Mrs. Too Raw. Welcome to the show, Ace, Mrs. Too Raw.
Ace, Mrs. Too Raw.
Got chat mom Jane here. It says Llama.
Yep.
Let's go. Hercules Outlaw. Warzone Dubski. They got the W just before they came onto the show, right?
Yeah. We finished the stream with a win. I was like, oh man, it's fucking 57. I gotta go. I'll see you boys later. Good win.
Yeah, see you guys later. Got the llama emojis up in there. Thank you very much, Jane. As always, Hercules is telling us had to stop playing for the family llama night every Sunday, 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
That's a beautiful thing.
It is a beautiful thing. Hercules wants to talk Moon Knight. He's excited for that.
I'm excited for Moon Knight, man.
Oh, here we go. Wait, a Marlins fan and a wild AD. That's funny. All right, hey, listen. The Marlins have won championships, though. I just want to say, didn't they beat the Yankees? No.
Nah, didn't they in like 03?
I thought maybe. I thought they did beat a New York team. Maybe that's the Mets we're thinking about. AD's in the chat. Gabe's in the house.
Finally, brother. It's been 2 weeks. You've been boycotting the show.
Gabe, we've missed you, man. We've missed you on the show.
Staple here.
Yeah, I mean the Gabe versus Birdie show has not happened in some time, so we're happy to have you guys here. Oh, he wants to the 27 championships. Yes, okay, got it. We still live in the past, I guess. AD's in the chat from Jimmy J Birdie. Oh, Chris Gillen's in the house. Sup, boys?
What's up, Chris?
Mr. Gillen, what's up, man? Welcome to the show. Big homie, all Florida teams holding on to old shit. Yes, we do. We don't win that often, so we got to hold on to it. Let's see. 27, hard to argue. Oh, Jay Birdie. It's true.
Nah.
Let's see. Goliath, my brother's in the house. All right, excellent. And we're throwing ADs in the chat.
Yeah.
For sure. So, guys, welcome again tonight. Really excited. The subscriber count, as we always like to go look for, right, is at 752, I believe. I'm pulling it up right now as we speak to make sure that I'm speaking truth. Let's see. The channel is at 752 effective tonight. We hit 700 on the show last week.
Yeah, we did.
I'm really, really excited. Kind of disappointed this week, not because of the subscribers, but because of what happened to my video. So I want to explain that to everybody because
I was wondering because you came on the stream last night and said you're gonna drop one. So
no. So what happened is I went on and I made the edits. Right now I'm taking advice from the fans and on all the comments and all the on all the videos have been saying that they don't like the reverse. The reverse image that they get from the video, but it's done purposely for copyright. So I tried to finagle it a little bit to make it a little bit more appealing. And the minute I put it out, copyright strike.
Yeah.
It got blocked. It got banned in all territories. And so I am in the process of flipping the images and resubmitting it out. So I anticipate hopefully tonight after the show I can get the actual video out for sure. Cool. So yeah, that's the update on the video, and man, that one video, 11,000 views, man. Like,
yeah, it's crazy.
And you guys watched it on the stream, which I'm so appreciative of, man. And you guys had like 8 or 9 viewers at the time watching.
Yeah, man. We're growing over there at the Blackout AD channel steadily. You know what I mean?
I mean, we got 12 on right now, so hey, welcome everybody. Make sure you hit us up in the comments. Make sure you like and subscribe. Let's see. Jay Birdie wants to tell us, no, I'm a Mets fan, though, unfortunately. So, yeah, you got to own that, Jay Birdie.
You got to own it.
I mean, I'm a Marlins fan and a Dolphin fan, and every year when the season starts, pretty much my season's over. So, that's how it rolls for me. All right, before we get into Moon Knight, because we're going to get into Moon Knight, we're really excited about that. Great episode, by the way. Want to talk about I love these celebrity sighting type stories with me because I get so excited about them. But and you commented on the Instagram post as well. So this weekend there was a Beers, Blues, and Brews festival. So they had beer and burgers and all kinds of stuff down at the local square, and it was hosted by. Yeah, no, I'm getting old school with that.
The square.
At the local square. It was actually hosted by Virginia of the Kevin, Virginia and Jason show, the KVJ show.
Yeah.
And I had heard her on the stage. She was on the stage and she was announcing that she was there, and she was, she goes to a lot of events and does a lot of I think support in Instagram, and she like throws the weight of the show there. And it just so happened that I jokingly had said to my wife, I was like, if we see her walking around, let's get a selfie with her. Let's just take a picture with her. Let's just see if we can find her. And I'm standing in line waiting for to order some food, and here she comes just walking by, like with her and her husband and her small kid, and the nicest person you could ever meet. I walk right up to her. I said, "Look, I'm really sorry because I know she's there with her kid and with her husband, but she's there to promote the thing, so I know she doesn't mind taking a selfie." So I was like, "Hey, listen, can I get a selfie with you?" And she was like, no problem whatsoever. And so took a quick picture, posted on everything. But here's the cool part, right? So taking a picture with a local celebrity is pretty cool.
Yeah.
The best part was what happened after, which was, she left, she walked away. I tagged every Instagram and every Twitter. I went, social media crazy. And she followed me back. She's actually now a follower of mine on Twitter,
nice.
on Instagram, and she put my picture on her post, on her story for the day. So there's the Big Llama Show getting some press. I've got people from the KVJ show, like fans of theirs, liking the tweets. Nice. I was ecstatic, man.
Yeah, man. I told you when I saw you post a pic when I was growing up, which like I never realized because this broadcasting thing kind of came later in life. Like I never thought about like to do this, but growing up, we would listen to the KVJ show every morning. My mom would take us to school every morning, and we would listen to it. So it was like a big part of my childhood. So like the fact that they're still going there, I'll even pop in on their like live stream that they do on YouTube sometimes just to watch. But like growing up, they were big to me, to be honest. You know what I mean? I didn't realize how like niche kind of their market was, but still.
Yeah, I mean, it's a local market. I don't think they're national, right? But the fact that, like I said, it was really cool that they hit me up on social media, that they posted my picture. The one cool thing too is I think Kevin, which is the main guy who runs the show, he in the morning who saw it and he followed me. So now Kevin is now a friend of mine and on Twitter. Nice. and he used the main KVJ show Twitter handle and retweeted the picture that I had posted. Nice. So it's got thousands of views and exposure and I think lots of people opening my profile. So I was just like ecstatic. I was on cloud nine. I think, but I would say this, man, it's like, it's such a nice thing. I'm a fan, big fan of theirs, and I wasn't doing it for like the promotion of the show. I really wasn't. But it was just so nice for them to be so open about retweeting me and taking the picture and everything else. I thought it was just a nice thing. So
yeah.
And if you see me, I'll take a picture with you. If you see me walking around the neighborhood, stop by, get a selfie. Not you, Jay Birdie. We already took, we're cool. don't come up to me, be like, let's take a selfie.
Selfie now.
Let's see. The big homie here hits us up. Like and sub. Leave a dope question for these guys to answer. Yeah, for sure. Opening up the chat. Big homie says, yeah, I met Kevin once and it was awesome. Such a nice dude. I heard that about him. I've never met him, but like I said, he retweeted me in the morning and he liked my thing. So I thought that was pretty nice. Jane says here, feels cool to live with one. Stay tuned for the memoir, Fangirling Herc. Well, if I see Herc, I'm going to take a selfie, man. I'm definitely going to take a selfie
with Herc.
Yeah, I'm going to retweet that and make sure that everybody knows that I know Herc. Good looking dude. There it is. I've lost my bet.
Every time.
I slip right into it. John Gillen says, yo, what's up? Road to 1,000.
Yes, sir. Closer and closer every week, John.
I'm saying, John, you're not even like kidding anymore. Like that's true. Like it's close, man. I can taste it.
He said road to 1,000 when you hit 100. When you hit 100.
Yeah.
That's the first time he said that.
Exactly. John Gillen's the measuring stick, man. He tells us what the bar is going to be. So we're shooting for 1,000. and with 1,000 comes things like super chats and all kinds of stuff on the
Oh man.
yeah, on the chat. There'll be super chats all over it, man. You could donate to the show. You can do all kinds of fun stuff. And as you guys see in my videos, today's video is Mandarin Orange and high quality H2O because I'm drinking the water.
Dude, that's the show that I'm drinking.
Yeah. Let me see what you're drinking, man.
So proper 12. Yeah, shout out Jimmy. And then I got my jug of water every
Okay.
week.
Okay. Hey, man. We got to do what we got to do to get through the show, man.
Yes, sir.
Let's see. Jane says, also Q&A of the day. What books are Blackout Crew and Llama reading? I already added ADs to my reading list.
Okay.
So what are you reading there, AD? I'm not,
I'm reading Beloved. It's kind of like it's almost like I look at it like a thriller, like scary, but it takes place in like slave times, but it has like a aspect of ghosts and stuff. So it's kind of a good read. It's by Toni Morrison. Good read.
and
Almost
I am ill prepared to answer that question. Let's see. Hold on.
He's reading the memoir of AD that I'm writing.
I'm reading this Pokemon card.
Okay. Hallelujah? What is that?
Snorlax VMAX.
Oh, okay.
There you go. No, actually, I actually spent my. Let's see. I googled it. It looks dope. All right. No, I honestly read a lot of articles. I read a lot of like self-help stuff. Like I'll read like and for a while I was reading Sun Tzu's The Art of War, but I was listening to it more than I was reading it because I just kind of enjoy that kind of stuff, the way people apply that. But but not really a book guy. But maybe I should start because, well, if I had time, if I had time to read a book. But no, that's a great question, Jane. I like that. I like that. It takes the show in a different direction. So next week, I'm going to come with my book. I'll pick up a book. I should just run and get my Harry Potter book.
I'm reading it right now.
I'm reading it right now. No, I mean, listen, I think reading books is pretty cool, man. I just, but audiobooks, podcasts and stuff like that is usually how I get my information. And I see here, Jane says, yes, you got an audiobook, that book. Yeah, for sure. I actually love audiobooks. It got me through college for sure. Like they'd have this one giant, 1,000 to 2,000 page book that you had to read for the class or whatever. Find the audiobook and driving to and from work, man, I'd be 3 or 4 chapters a day. I'd be good to go. Did I read it? Of course I read it.
Well, I mean, technically, I use it sometimes. Like even with this book, like I'll read it some weeks, and some weeks I'll just listen to it.
Yeah, I mean, listen, man, you have to enjoy it, man, and you have to have time. Sometimes the time isn't there, and you do it whenever you can. Let's see. Hercules Outlaw has here. We are on Audible reading The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe. Believe it or not, man, that's one of the first books I read cover to cover. And it was because it was like 4th or 5th grade. I read that book as part of like a series. We were reading it every week.
Yeah.
And I read it on my own after that. I was like, damn, I was like into that. And then when the movies came out, severely disappointed. But that's how it goes. Let's see. Hercules. Me personally, I'm working up the courage to read. I can't see that guy's name. Chuck Damned and its sequel. Okay. I don't know what that is.
Yeah, I don't know what that is either. I can't even lie to you.
Let's see. Audiobooks are huge with us. We listen to them with the kids at dinner, and we listen to the other books together on drives. Yeah, no, I mean, listen, I found myself more and more not wanting to listen to music. It's podcasts, it's audiobooks, it's information to feed the brain, just while you're driving, because, if you hear one song, you've heard it 1,000 times sometimes, and it sometimes can get a little bit repetitive.
No, man. I'm weird. I'll go in spurts where I'll listen to music, or I'll listen to I'll listen to music for a couple weeks at work because I'll have always an earpiece in, or I'll go just podcast and I like listening to like old podcasts I've already listened to. Yeah. But hey, shout out James Johnson. Big ups on y'all. Continued success, nephew Blackout. Hey, thank you, brother. Thank you for coming in, man.
No, thank you so much. Yeah. And remember, if you're new and you're scared, because we had a couple new guys last week, right? If you're new, you're scared, you want to just hit us up on the comments. It's a welcomed chat room. We got a chat mom who moderates. Trust me. She wrecked shop in there. No, I mean, listen, we welcome everybody and thank you for supporting us. Man, I love it. I love seeing the support. I was really kind of on a high from last week's episode because we had new people coming in. It was just interesting. It was just fun. We hit that 700 right on the air. It was just so awesome. It was just such an awesome feeling. All right, let's get right into tonight's topics, man. Let's talk about our friend Mr. Moon Knight. Moon Knight episode 2. And if you thought the hype was just hype at the episode 1, episode 2 delivered, I think, in my opinion.
It was good.
What you know? What do you think? What do you think of episode 2? Your this was good seems underwhelming. So I'm wondering if you've got issues.
No, I think the first episode set it up well. Second episode kind of like it carried it on, but it wasn't anything like overwhelmingly great either. You know what I mean? Like it was good. It's a good series, like way different than anything we've ever seen. I'm very like curious because there's like a sense of mystery to it. When like, you know, they're like, I don't know, I can't really like read what's going on. I kind of like the take, even though it would have been cool to see Mr. Knight because they introduced Mr. Knight, which is on screen now. Yep. They introduced him, but in the comic book, he's more like of a like detective style, like personality, and they kind of played him for comedic value, and I think that's kind of where I was kind of like disinterested. I was like, damn, I kind of wanted to see especially because when they released like the images of him, it looked like he was gonna be like I don't know, he looked kind of more menacing and like more like Sherlock Holmes-esque than, you know what I mean. But I guess for the show, it makes sense why they're doing it because they wanted to give Steven like his own Moon Knight appearance, you know what I mean? Because he was trying to keep Mark from taking over. So
no, for sure. And you know, I think it was a great, again, because I don't know the character. I did listen to the new Rockstar's breakdown after I watched the episode. I watched the Easter eggs and everything, but I like the fact that I don't know anything about the show, and this character seemed very cool to me. I mean, this is going to be the number one Halloween costume of next year. Is this one here, right, in the suit, right? Everyone's going to go dressed up all nice to a party. Yeah. But again, I enjoyed that. I enjoyed the fact that he was taking a little bit more control. But Jane here says it was kind of sad.
Yeah.
There are some elements about the two personalities now, and the fact that, you know, what he thought was his life is not really his life anymore, and he's living, you know, a double life. Hercules says, I think episode 2 did a good job with explaining just enough to answer a few questions that were brought up in the pilot episode. Yeah, they tied up a couple of loose ends, which was good. James here, the big homie always, Pancho, love you. Okay, so he's they're talking to each other in the chat room there. All right, no problem. So yeah, I mean there were some things in here that came up in terms of let me see. I saw something here. The superhero, the storage unit. If anyone caught that, I don't know if you guys saw that they had QR codes in the first two episodes, the first episode and this episode. If you,
I think I did see it.
There's a QR code on the entrance. If you go there, it goes reference to specific copies of the Moon Knight cartoon. I mean the comic, specific episodes and specific issues. So I mean it's pretty interesting to sort of slide that in there.
My thing with the show is that there's only 6 episodes though. And this was episode 2, and I feel like the plot didn't really like get moved forward. It was just like more introspective. And what I do enjoy though is like how Steven like looks at what he's going through as like more sad and like he's scared of it, as like Mark kind of seems like it's a darker thing that kind of just haunts him. You know what I mean? Like when Steven was like yelling at him and he like kind of flips out and breaks the glass, like it shows that like Mark got a real dark side in him. I mean, we kind of figured that when he was beating the coyote or whatever it was.
Yeah, he was
the jackal. But when he broke the glass, like you really see it, like he has some dark in him. But like I said, it's 6 episodes, so I'm just hoping that like there's a lot of questions, and if it's gonna be a limited series, they got to answer most of these questions. Like I'm sure there'll be some they could answer in the movies, but for this show, I want to see a lot of these things get tied up if we won't get another season. Now, if we get another season, I think that's a different story,
Yeah, no, for sure. Big homie says the embedding of the QR comics is awesome. Yes, I thought that was a pretty good touch. Let's see, we got James here says Mark should relinquish full control for the rest of the series.
So you want Steve more or you want Mark more?
Right.
I guess relinquish.
Well, here's what I think too, and this I think where what goes back to what James was saying was kind of sad. Like when was it Steven? Right, when Steven is in the mind and he's being he's not in control. You start to get an idea of what that place really is. It's a dark place, can't breathe. And Mark's telling him, just take deep breaths. You'll get used to it. You get used to it. It's kind of like, I don't know. It's kind of like a solitary confinement. Just
like a purgatory.
Yeah, right. And it's not like okay. So what I thought it was great is that I didn't know what that would feel like, or I had no clue. It was to say, oh, I wonder what that feels like to be in that guy's brain or be the secondary character. But they gave you an illustration of it, right? And that's, I think, for me, was a little bit heartbreaking is that Mark is spending all this time in there while Steven is running around. And so you kind of feel for both characters. And we're talking about one guy.
Yeah.
And that's the great thing of the show is we're talking about one guy, one actor, one character, and you're starting to have feelings for his personalities.
Yeah.
Which is the genius of the show.
Now, the questions, like, to me, the question is, like, who came first? Like, is it Mark's body and he like kind of has like, what do you call that? Like identity something?
Yeah.
Identity
personality.
Yeah, basically did he have that and it just like got amplified when Country took over, or was it Steven's body and Mark kind of died and they kind of used Steven's body as the avatar? Like it seems like it can lean both ways, and that's kind of the thing. Like, I mean, he has a wife too, so like it seems like Mark might be the real one, but then again, there's hints to like maybe Steven being kind of the real one,
right?
And then,
right.
And there's also hints of a third personality, which we haven't gotten any answers to that, but I do think there's another personality in there.
Yeah, I mean, it's crazy, because Mark's got a passport. Mark has this money. Like, Mark has his whole life set up. And so, yeah, and I did question that too. Right, is Mark, because he said you were a corpse when I met you. Jane's giving us some clarity here. Dissociative identity disorder is what it was. And also, Jane's got a lot of good thoughts here. She says there's a young adult book I read mad long ago, Diary of Mara Dyer, and it has a similar concept of people who have mental illness actually just superpowers are superheroes. I have so many questions. 100. Okay, for sure. Appreciate that they showed Layla seeing him in a fight, because now the audience knows for sure it's real and he's just not batshit crazy. Yeah, no. And that was another cool thing is that, at this point you're questioning, was it real? Was it in his head? And then you see how it appears to her, and that she's the audience. She's the eyes of the audience for sure.
Yeah.
Hercules has a couple of comments here. He says, I feel like he went through something hardcore and Steven became another personality after a psychotic break. Country brings Mark back to repay a debt. Maybe. And then James here says, more Steven, just figuring it out. That's what made Superman seem more logical, watching him fail and learn on his own and owning his situation. Okay, that's a good take. That's a great take on it.
I just think, like, with the Steven character, I don't know, man. Like, for what I want to see out of, like, you got to think, like, this is supposed to be the Batman of the Marvel universe, right? But they're giving it more like a comedic take in a weird way, even though the psychological thriller portion of it is there. But I feel like we could have got a lot more action out of this character. And maybe we will. Like, I mean, obviously, we're only 2 episodes in. So I could just be bullshitting right now. But out of the first 2 episodes, we haven't seen much of like the actual Moon Knight thing, the Moon Knight costume, the ceremonial costume or whatever. I mean, he impales the thing, but that was like one literal like chase scene pretty much.
Yeah.
And then after that, we've been getting a lot of the identity crisis thing.
Yeah, no, I think so. But you know, this is a great opportunity to kind of, and I'm not saying they will, but they can always come back to it because of the different personalities. But with trying not to be a Batman clone, trying not to do that, right? I mean, they've already walked away from him being a billionaire, millionaire, rich guy like Batman.
Yeah.
So I think that's a good, smart move because then it gets oversaturated and becomes like what it was when the comics came out, which is, hey, you're copying the Dark Knight, but he's Moon Knight, right? Like it's like Aquaman and Namor, right, and all that stuff. It's just, I think it's smart. But I think there's a direction. There's a specific direction. I had read or saw that they were talking about. There may be a team up with Shang-Chi, right? There's a lot of the Orient and the different, with the 10 rings. Yeah. So there's a lot that could be incorporated with this Moon Knight, or even a team up. You had mentioned it last time, a team up with Blade and
the dude from Eternals. I keep forgetting his name.
Right.
He had the Blade. Yeah, I'm hoping we see more of the character. And like I said, I could just be kind of like, I wanted more action out of it, and we're getting more psychological thriller. And that could just be a thing that I had with it. You know what I mean? But the story itself and the writing is pretty well. I mean, Isaac's acting, super good. But like you said, we're feeling for both characters. And you kind of see like how different they are. Like he's really playing two different characters. And, I mean, overall the show is good. I'm curious to see where it goes. And I'm curious to see, like, are we going to get a battle between like Moon Knight and Amit, or is it going to be like Moon Knight and Ethan Hawke's character? Like, is he going to get like a superpower? Because, and that's another thing we learned. He was like Moon Knight before. He was the original Khonshu avatar, which kind of explains like, and he kind of really knew Khonshu well. So they must have worked together for a long time because he knew him like to the T, like if they had like a close bond.
Yeah, no, for sure. Now, Big Homie brings up a great point here. He says, but Steven just being yelled at by Khonshu and Mark, it's too much like Venom. Yes, I was getting some Venom vibes there. The one thing I liked is Ethan Hawke's character was calling it out. Like, what's he saying back there? He's saying this? Yeah, he says it all the time. And I love the fact that he has no power. He says he has no powers here without you. So like giving Steven a little bit of ammo to say, I got some control in this, which was great, which is a great part of, it's just not him having superpowers and knowing what to do with it. The other part was when he became Mr. Moon Knight, right? He didn't know how to, sometimes you get the suit and you get the powers. And we talked about this when we talked about Mortal Kombat. Like all of a sudden you get the superpower, you know how to use it. Like, yeah. So it's the same thing. Like I love the fact he gets it. He summons the suit, but he doesn't know what to do with the power. Like he's grabbing the car and it's breaking the bumper. Like he doesn't know how strong he is. He doesn't know anything that's going on. He's just sort of operating in that world, which is really, really cool. Let's see. We got some comments here. Jane says, "Is Steven too vulnerable for you? Because maybe they're hyping that up to make it a dramatic change mid-season."
Yeah, but how much could he really change? To me, it's like Steven's. I think realistically, they probably could be setting up like Ethan Hawke's character getting into Steven's head. You know what I mean? Like if he comes back and like talks to him a little bit more, because Steven would be more like susceptible to like fall into a cult like mentality. Yeah. You know what I mean? And that would cause problems for Khonshu and Mark, especially if like Steven's like super. So that could be a change I could see. But it's just like Mark is the character that, and they kind of played on it when in the car chase scene when it was like all the action scenes, they like blurred it out to where it's like, oh, and then wakes up, he's Steven, he doesn't know what he did.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like they're kind of using like the action scenes like that. You know what I mean? More so like, oh, like Mark's doing it, he has the control. And you're not going to get that perspective of it. And maybe now it's going to change because now Steven's stuck in the glass himself. So now he's able to he knows he can keep an eye out and stuff. But
and I think that's good. It gives him a view into the world, so he's not just blind anymore. Yeah, which is good. Hercules says that Big Homie, I said the exact same thing, the Venom thing. Jane says it's a lot like Venom. I agree. And then Big Homie says him rolling his sleeves up and rolling up his sleeves had me crying. Yeah, I mean that was that to me was again it was a fun episode for me. I enjoyed it very much. Some scary ass elements though when he was in that locker room, that's the storage room, and you know, I love that kind of stuff. But at the same time, like my kids were like, jump scares coming, and so. But I just think they did a really good job. I think it's a great show so far. You're right though. I think kind of leaves you wondering what's next. You've only got limited time. The same thing. I wouldn't say the same thing happened in the Hawkeye series, but it was just kind of the same thing. You get to the second and third episode, you haven't really moved the story much, and Hawkeye kind of fell on his face because it was just like that was it. There was nothing more to it. But again, Big Homie says, for anybody out there, don't forget to like and comment.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, and if you're new, guys, make yourselves known. If you're new to the channel, I see 12 people on tonight. Keep it going. Let's make sure you like and subscribe. Make sure you
tell your friends. Come and enjoy the Big Llama Show for sure. Oh, 7:53. We got another subscriber just as we were talking. Look at that. All right. Let's see. We got to James talking about, can he change into any clothing like the different suit? I think he can, right? He just got to conjure up that suit. I mean, I think more familiar. I think it like Mark does it in terms of like he's using the Moon Knight suit, but from what it seemed like, especially when they're like, use the suit, or the Layla yelled, use the suit, Mark said use the suit. So like I think he just conjured up, and especially like Mark's reaction, like, what are we doing? Like, you know what I mean? He kind of just conjured up the suit himself. So maybe like if there is a third personality, we'll get like their version of the suit. At least that's what I'm thinking, the perspective of it. Like, I mean, even like because you know how like Moon Knight has the mummy like wrapping around his arms and stuff.
Oh yeah.
If you look at the suit, he had the mummy wrapping on the shoes. So it's the same material. It's just like probably whatever the host wants to wear.
Okay, yeah, and yeah, when Mark took it over, he changed it into the suit that he wanted or the suit he prefers. So yeah, there must be more to the personalities and conjuring up the suit that you'd like. So
yeah,
and they got a huge number of possibilities with that. So that's really, really good. There's a comment in here, I think, for you, AD, and this was Bruce, but I think we're going to get to that in just a few minutes. So we'll come back to that question for sure in our next segment. So again, episode 3 it premieres this Wednesday. I am really excited and looking forward to it. One thing I will say though, and I always gauge myself as the average fan, but I am more tolerant than most average fans. So I gauge Mama Llama's, sort of response on the show. And this is why I think it may or may not work for average viewers, is that she was like, there's just too much going on. There's too much. She's like, there's too many things happening. And she goes, it's stressful. It's like, who is he talking to? Is it him? Like, again, casual fan, like from the outside looking in, she didn't necessarily find it to be as interesting as I did. So they're going to have to figure out how to continue to make it a broader scope, right? For people who are just on the fringe of the show. I mean, it's one of the most successful shows they've had, so it's not anything to that. I'm just saying you start to lose people if it gets too heady, I guess too smart for its own good. Yeah. So sometimes they got to do that. Let's see here. So what if his wife makes him summon a gimp suit? Bring out the gimp.
That might, you know what I want to see, baby.
Let me show you Mr. Moon Knight. No. Oh, and the one thing we'll end it on this for it. It's revealed that Layla, the wife, is who Kanji wants, right? That's who he wants as the next Avatar. So there's also
I feel like that might be a little bait, though.
Maybe.
I feel like, because realistically, like, Khonshu's using him as an avatar, right? So Khonshu's living through him. Now, she seems capable. I mean, she had fighting skills. She has the knowledge. Clearly, she has the intangible. So like, he could use her, but like realistically, Mark is a mercenary. Like he has the that's his specific skill set is to kill people and to get things done. Like, you know what I mean? So like, it's almost like he's kind of like. He's like, yeah, it keeps making deals with Mark to keep him like stringing him along, but also holding it over his head. Like, well, if it's not you, it's gonna be her. So
yeah.
and Mark's gonna do. Obviously, Mark loves her, and that's why I say there's a third personality, because the big thing is like, who asked that girl on a date?
Right.
Because obviously Mark is married and he's trying to keep Layla away. Why would he ask another girl on a date? And I think she called him Steven. So it's like, what if there's like a more suave like personality of like Steven? Then we don't, you know what I mean?
And maybe he comes back, he's like, Deuce Bigelow, American Gigolo.
Because you got when you think about it, it's like you got the more serious killer, you got the kind of like confused, like, they call him themselves in the show the bumbling idiot. Like,
Yeah.
There's got to be like maybe a suave character that might, you know what I mean, like be a mixture of both. So we'll see.
Listen, with his multiple personalities, yeah, anything's possible, and that's the great thing about this character is that I know that the comic has like at least 6 or 7 different versions, or it's something like that.
I think it's like 4. I think like at one time it's like 4, but
Yeah.
they've done different things. Like there's like a cab version where he like keeps his ear to the ground, because I think they used it at the beginning where he was like that billionaire, but he had different, not personalities, but he had different like things he would use to like get the scoop on things.
Yeah.
And then it turned more into like the mental illness side, and that's kind of what like Marvel's going with now.
Yeah. Well, they gotta focus on something. So, all right. Well, listen, if you like Moon Knight and you're interested in talking more about Moon Knight, join us every week, Sunday night, 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Moon Knight will be a regular topic because it's the show that's on right now. But again, the chat is what drives us. So if the chat wants to ask questions, talk movies, something different, we're always going to follow what the chat says. But every week we should have somewhat of a recap of Moon Knight. So join us next week for episode 3. Let us know in the comments your thoughts on Moon Knight, whether you like the show, you like what's going on, or if you agree or disagree with our points. Let us know in the comments about Moon Knight. All right, let's segue over to our next topic, which we got Bruce on here hitting us strong with a couple of comments, but we're going to talk about UFC 273, the Korean Zombie versus was it Volkanovski?
Yeah, Volkanovski.
Did I say it right? Okay.
Yeah.
So we, prepping for this. And again, I apologize. I wasn't on the Fight Night Discord.
I was joking around. I was like, man, I got Lama ready for the fight, and he didn't even show up.
Man,
I gave him the homework and everything.
I mean, so again, context is important, right? So the night before, I think we had stayed up to like 5, 6 in the morning watching UFC. Like leading up to it, like the storylines and different things. We played some games, and so for sure. I was like, I'm ready, primed and ready. And man, when I tell you, man, that once everything settled here at the house, man, I was exhausted. I was like, it's time. I got to go to bed, man. And so I apologize, guys. I should have been on the Fight Night Companion, the Discord view. And if you guys are interested, go to Blackout AD's channel on Twitch. When we have fight nights, when they have different events, he is streaming and you're on Discord and you can join the party. Just make sure you subscribe to his channel. Make sure you're following Blackout AD on Twitch in order to go into the Discord. All right, let's see. So we got some people commenting about this here, and Bruce had said this first. And I'm gonna leave this to you. I'm not sure what this means.
It seems like Bruce doesn't like Volkanovski very much. So
okay, that's okay. That's all right.
And in terms of it could be Volk. I could say he it could be because there might be somebody ugly we don't know. He said, I got kids at home. Dude. So does your opponent. What is your point, man? Who cares? I mean, to that point, that might be what motivates him, though. And the guy's he won last night. It's 21 fights in a row. So, I mean, whatever it takes to motivate you to go on a run like that, 21 fights, that's pretty good, and he's putting on performances that's showing that he might be pound for pound. He might be number 2 because everybody thinks, and not everybody thinks. I think Usman is pound for pound top fighter in the UFC right now. But this guy's making a strong case because what he did to Korean Zombie last night was disgusting. It looked like a legitimate sparring session. He was just beating him up. You know what I mean? Zombie had nothing for him. He was too fast. They stopped it in the 4th round with the technical TKO where Zombie was still standing up. He just got hit so many times. It was like, yo, let's just end the fight right there.
His brains were touching the sides of his head like that.
And I mean, credit to Zombie, like he took every shot and he just kept moving forward, but he was getting battered. The speed was definitely a factor. The power in Volkanovski's hands was a factor. Like it wasn't a close fight at all. There was nothing Zombie did that made me like, oh, he almost had the champ. No. Yeah. And for Volkanovski, for that you can't really say much. I mean, he was talking about maybe going up to like lightweight, which is 155, which is like the Conor level. He was entertaining Conor in the press conferences beforehand. So it's like he's looking for the big money fights. And I mean, although I give him credit, he does very much say he'll fight anybody. If they're the number 1 contender, he'll fight them. So, I mean, we'll see. Korean Zombie wasn't the test. And mind you, this was a fill-in. Max Holloway was the guy that was supposed to fight Volkanovski.
Right.
He got injured. So maybe that's the fight we need to see.
You called it. You called it the night before when we were watching the pre-shows and getting everything ready. You know, you had called and said that the Korean Zombie just doesn't have enough for Volkanovski, and you had said you don't think he's going to make it. So you were right on the money on that analysis. I was thinking the Korean Zombie had a chance, man.
I wanted him to because it would have been big for mixed martial arts in Asia, like all over. I mean, especially Korea. But yeah, I mean, like I said, he didn't really have it for him.
Yep. Gabe says the Korean Zombie got the paws put on him for sure. Follow that guy, AD, good guy.
Good guy, that guy.
That guy. Jesus. Next week, bedtime all. Love Big Llama, nephew, and Big Homie. Give my love to the missus. Right,
thank you, man.
Good night. Thank you
for joining us. Appreciate you, man.
Let's see. Bruce got some comments here. Volk is nowhere near pound for pound. He beat a guy who didn't deserve a title shot in the first place in Zombie. Holloway beat Volk in the second fight.
I mean, you could say he beat Volk, but realistically, Volkanovski is the champion and won that fight. Like, but that's what I told you that night. Both their fights were controversial, and like it could have went either way in both of them, I think. But Max Holloway's that good that he can beat Volkanovski and he can take the championship back. So that it's the most intriguing fight at that weight class because to me, I don't really see anybody else as of now that I'm like can beat Volkanovski right now. I like Bruce's takes though. Why, hey Bruce, what do you got against Volkanovski though? You just don't like his personality, or because the guy's a solid fighter. I mean, as a mixed martial artist, he is a mixed martial artist. He's very good. He's very good at what he does.
Yeah, no, I mean, he seems to have some issue with it, which is fine. I mean, we welcome different viewpoints for sure to the show. All right, so that was the main card. You had Volkanovski.
Oh, that was the main.
The main event of the night. That was a co-main event, is what I read here.
Yep.
The other one was Sterling versus Jan. Now, how did that one end up, man?
Oh man, that was So the fight of the night was the fight before that, which was Chimaev versus Gilbert Burns. It was just a brawl fest. But to me, and like it seemed like in the Discord and the chat, we were having a lot more fun with the Jan fight because it almost seemed like, I mean, I showed you the storyline. So Peter Yan got disqualified in their first fight by kneeing Sterling, who was down, and Sterling got the belt because of it. So there's a lot of controversy. Like you shouldn't win a belt off of disqualification. Like he could lose the belt, but you can't win it. And there was like a lot of like Aljamain kind of like played the heel when it came to that. Like, you know what? I got the belt. I'm the champion now. You know what I mean? And Jan seemed to like get very angry at it. And so that fight kind of started out way different than last fight. Last fight, Sterling was a little bit more active, attacking for the first 2 rounds at least, like going at a very high pace, like just striking with him. And this fight, he came out a little bit more calm, cool, collected. It looked like because Sterling's strength is his jiu-jitsu and his floor game. And he even said in an interview, he's like, I'm gonna wrap around him like a backpack and end it, right? So the first round is kind of like back and forth. It was very debatable. Now the first round kind of what determined the fight in a lot of ways, but it was kind of very like slow, like back and forth. Like nothing was like very out, like nothing stood out. But the second round, Sterling gets Jan's back and holds him down for I think it was like 3 minutes and like 20 seconds that second round. And just like now Jan did a very good job of defending the takedown. I mean, defending the rear naked choke and stuff. Like he didn't get he didn't honestly get hurt either. But it was just Sterling was in a more dominant position for the whole round. Third round comes, Sterling somehow like a minute and a half, almost 2 minutes in, gets his back again for like another 3 minutes. I think it was like 8 minutes of total like ground control for Sterling, back-to-back rounds. And that proved to be the difference in the fight because Jan comes out and wins round 4 and 5. And I say win, like it wasn't like as dominant as like Sterling winning 2 and 3, but he won the rounds nonetheless. And the first round was so close that it could have went either way, and they gave it to Sterling. And Sterling retained the belt, and he won the belt now, and people can like kind of stop hating on him, which he like you seen it once after the second round, after he got off his back, like he stood up and like put his arms out in the crowd, like what I mean, like you guys doubted me, but like I told you this was gonna be a different fight, and he proved it, man.
Yeah, no, and that's good. That's redemption right there. It's a good arc, and the story was good. And then I think it was unanimous decision, right? That he won.
No, split decision.
It was a split. Okay, yeah. We got some comments here. It says so. Bruce is hitting us up here. Putin is calling up Jan to report to Ukraine ASAP now. Who needs more bodies to work with? Gabe hit you up with a nice Alexa, play the backpack song by oh dear God. Hold on. I just said it here in my studio. And I got one sitting over there. I hope the song doesn't come on. I see it thinking though. Gabe, man, you set me up for that one. Bruce says all Russian fighters will get the call soon enough, probably.
Oh my God! Imagine that all the UFC fighters just dip out.
That's the special unit right there. Oh man, yeah, no, I mean it's tough. Now you said the fight of the night was the Burns.
Oh man,
Chemyov, right?
So Chimaev, I think I showed you a little bit of theirs. This was the one we talked about towards the end of the stream, though. But so Chimaev's up and coming like badass. This guy, and I think this is the first fight that I watched live. I think most of the other fights I've seen were just highlights and stuff, but this was the first fight I got to see live. And only 4 fights in the UFC he had, and Gilbert Burns is number 2 in the welterweight division. And Gilbert Burns took the chance and was like, you know what I mean, which admirable for Gilbert Burns to take the chance on this guy because everybody knows like, and after last night, like it kind of seemed like. There's a lot of things people were like, he didn't get out of the second round. He hasn't got out of the second round, whatever. And he's never really got tested. And last night he got tested and won. Now Chimaev. Burns put on an absolute like slugfest. Like Chimaev looked better and Chimaev made a lot of mistakes, but it showed like the level. Like he made a huge jump up. You know what I'm saying? Like he's fighting the number 2 guy, and it showed. Like Gilbert Burns was not going to go away and and Gilbert Burns is superior on the ground too. So Chimaev like made it a point to take him down, but not stay on the ground too long. You know what I mean? He didn't want to go in that world. He didn't want to chance it. His power is tremendous. But I really do think he's going to be champion soon. I truly think.
Yeah, this is just some highlights from some stills, I guess, from the match last night. So you can't really play it, without getting yourself into trouble. So, and there's the card there. So this looked like a pretty bloody match, though. I mean,
bloody! It was just they were just swinging. I mean, guys, they were both getting caught. You know what I mean, like with big shots. For Gilbert, I think though he lost and he was he's still going to be in the top 5. He's still very good. I think I would at least I would hope so because he took a chance fighting this guy. But this guy's star is so like it's rising so high that it kind of like helped Gilbert too because he put on a fucking show. Like it was a slugfest. Like he didn't go down, and he easily could have went down. And like I said, for Chimaev, it just showed like, showed he can hang, because a lot of fighters, they'll a lot of people were saying too, a lot of commentators, it was like this guy was just knocking people out and finishing people so early that it was like, what if he got into a precarious position and was like, all right, well, maybe he'll fold. Like, we don't know. We don't know
Yeah.
what he's made out of, and last night showed. So this guy's definitely a contender that we're gonna be seeing a lot of.
No, that's good. That's good. Hercules has a comment here. He said, "I like how you did that highlight stuff, Llama. That's sexy hot." Hey, man, we're just trying to up the production value of the show, as we always do. Gabe talking about fire here.
Yeah.
Why? So what was it? Oh, Gabe, spicy move by Llama. What's another one that from last night? We'll cover one more before we get to the next topic. What was another one you liked?
Well, we only watched the Tisha Torres and Mackenzie Dern fight, which that was honestly a really good fight in a different way. It was like Mackenzie Dern's a high level jiu-jitsu player, and she won by decision. Yeah, she won by decision. But Tisha Torres is like a pioneer in the game, and she showed a lot of heart. And there was a lot of positions where Mackenzie Dern could have took control of the fight, and Tisha kind of just, didn't let her like get her on the ground, and like showed a lot of good defense. I don't know. It was a good solid fight overall. Like, there was nothing crazy about it, but it was like a high level. Like, one's better on the stand up, one's better on the ground. Where's the fight gonna dictate? And Mackenzie Dern pulls it out and shows she's a contender in that weight division as well.
Now, so again, I was just trying to find some highlights. I don't see anything so anything sort of major, on the webs there. But here's the decision from the last night's match. Now again, I don't follow this too well. So like I said, I just enjoy it for the spectacle. But I'm starting to learn more and more about these fighters. So what's the next big fight you got going on in terms of what we'll be watching on your particular Discord or channel? What's the next big event?
274, but I'm pretty sure that's like, I don't know the exact day. It's like a month away or something like that.
Okay.
There's I'll tell you, it's a big fight because I know Rose Namajunas is fighting Carla Esparza for her championship. And there's another championship. Oh, Oliveira versus Gaethje, which is 155. Which will be a banger fight. And that fight will be May 7th. So May 7th, we'll be having a fight night on the Blackout AD channel. We'll try to do what we did this time, like a pre-stream where I talk about it a little bit. I want to get more into the UFC content because it works well for me. I thoroughly enjoy watching the fights. You see how I was that night that I was explaining to you. Like, I really like watch this stuff. So
No, I was prepared for the whole card after you and I sort of sat down and just talked through each match, and like wrestling, like pro wrestling, the promos and the cuts for everything really do sell the show. So like if you can get someone, again, a novice, really excited about the matchup and the history that's built behind it, it's a much better sort of show. Like, instead of just watching two people pummel each other who you have no idea, the story kind of sells the drama. It sells the excitement of the show. So definitely would recommend you guys, if you're interested in UFC fight nights or just the UFC coverage, on Blackout AD's channel on Twitch, he's covering a lot during his live streams along with the gaming. So definitely check out his channel. Make sure you like and subscribe. Make sure you are subscribing to his. If not, I'll give you a subscription. I've been gifting subscriptions.
I'm really like the hype trains, man.
Oh, I do love the hype trains, man. I want to see another one. I want to see another one happening.
Yo, I never had one. We had one or two, one in the span of, or two in the span of like a week and a half. So yeah, they're coming, man. You see the viewers are going up.
Oh man, it's insane. It's insane. And you had quite a bit. You had a great showing last night.
Yeah, I mean, my fight nights have been consistently the most views. Obviously, I'm offering the fight. You know what I mean? Like, if you want to watch the fight, you can watch it there. So I'm gonna get like just actual views. But this week, I mean, coming back from my vacation, the numbers I've been putting up, I've had a 200 view stream, and then last night was a 300 view stream, which is like crazy. Because before that, the most I was getting on non-fight nights. Because fight nights, I get, like I said, fight nights I could get 200 or I could get 600. I've gotten both, but on normal streams, seeing my numbers go from 100 to 200 after a 9-day break, and then still hit those numbers now. I mean, something's working, you know. So we got to keep grinding, putting out content, keep doing what we're doing, man. We're really building a community over here with all our content. I mean, even today, watching Herc's video on stream, watching your video on stream, the chat bullied me into posting my most recent video on YouTube. So I have a new YouTube video up right now on the Blackout AD channel. So, man, content's coming.
No, for sure. No, listen, man, I appreciate you watching my stuff on your stream, and again, it gets different eyes on it. And like I said, guys, do support the show. If you want to support the show, make sure you're following this guy on Twitch. Make sure you subscribe to his channel. If you want to support the Big Llama, go to the Big Llama Show channel. If you're on YouTube, hit that subscribe button right now. Like I said, UFC Fight Nights is something we love watching and love doing. So if you want more of that type of content, go ahead and join us for more of our shows and content. All right. Our last topic of the night that we have here is what some are considering to say, and I've read this, is the greatest video game movie ever made.
Listen,
and
I really got mad when you put that in the description.
Who's that?
I said I got mad when you put it in the description.
The reason I say that is not because of its content, not because that Sonic the Hedgehog is the greatest movie ever made. Money-wise, it made, I think, $71 million in its opening weekend for a video game movie. Sonic the Hedgehog 2 races to the second highest opening of the year. Shocking for sure. Now I will admit, I thought the first Sonic was going to suck. I said it early on in my channel when I first started the channel last year. When the first movie came out, I thought it was going to be a terrible movie, and I was wrong. And I've said I was wrong. Please, for anyone who knows the old archives, I said I was wrong about Sonic. But yeah, it's like for kids. It was a kids' family movie, made lots of money. I'm interested in seeing it. I'm just not rushing to the theater to go see it. Yeah. So, Jane here says, you guys have great diversity, all different platforms. Yes, for sure. Let's see. So Gabe says, I still haven't watched it. Which one? The original Sonic?
I haven't watched Sonic either. As far as the money wise, yeah, I guess you can consider it like how much it's made. But to me, it's like this is the first like children's family movie that I've seen like super successful. Because most of the most successful movies we've seen were like superhero genre movies, or I mean, Dune didn't even do as crazy as we thought it was going to do. Right. At least the hype was. You know what I mean? So like to me, this seems like the first like post-pandemic family movie that's kind of done very well. And I've heard that it's pretty good. I've heard that it's like there's got some corny parts, but I've heard that like it does some things better than the first and it does some things worse than the first. I'm excited because what I heard as the like I guess it's like either cliffhanger or post credit scene, like they're introducing another character, which that kind of got me excited. And because of that, I kind of want to watch, because I had honestly no interest in, like, I love Sonic growing up, but I had no interest in like watching these movies because it seemed like it was like aimed at kids. But like from what I'm hearing, like I should give it a watch. You know what I mean? It sounds like it's not bad. Like it actually gives you that essence of Sonic. So you know what I mean? Yeah. I'm glad it made the money though, because I hope to see the next movie.
Yeah, I mean it's good that it made the money because it gives the green light to other potential projects. It's got a bigger. I mean, the second biggest opening of this year was the Batman at 134 million. So, I mean, nearly double that. But still, I mean, the Batman is a giant tentpole movie. This is a kids movie to say the least, right? But what I will say about the first one, and maybe why I'll enjoy the second one, is for those diehard players of the game. There are those little Easter eggs, those little winks and nods to the video game itself. Not so much because, remember, it takes place in the Earth world, not necessarily Sonic's world. Yeah. So you really couldn't do all the things you would normally do. But, again, it was doomed. It was doomed to fail in the beginning because of I don't know if you remember, the first movie had that backlash when they released the trailer
Yeah.
about the look of Sonic and how weird he looked, and they fixed it. And I
Yeah.
think that that made some people say, okay, they're listening to us. But honestly, the story was decent. It was a decent story. Jim Carrey wasn't necessarily the Dr. Eggman that you would want, but he became it at the end. So, and I'm sure he hams it up in this one, as he always does.
That's what I'm hearing about. Like he became more Dr. Robotnik, which I mean, like I said, the reviews are like they're like lukewarm. Like they sound positive in terms of like it's a good popcorn film, but it's not like like the best game. That's why I was like I got mad. It's not the best game adaptation. Everybody knows that's the first Mortal Kombat.
Everyone does know, and if you didn't know, it is Mortal Kombat.
It is that movie.
There was nothing like going to see it the first night at theater with people dressed up as Mortal Kombat characters.
Oh my
god! I had no idea. As Hercules says, I had no idea Idris Elba was the voice of Knuckles.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I mean that was a weird pick, but I guess it works. People said they love Idris as Knuckles. Jane says, I have no interest in Sonic, but I've caught glimpses because of our youngest loves it. Yeah, I mean, like I said, it's a kid's movie. I honestly, it's not for diehard gamers. It's not for anyone other than the kids who like Sonic. It lends itself well to that. Again, I enjoyed the first movie. I think I'll enjoy the second one as well.
Yeah.
But I don't go into it thinking, oh my God, it's going to be a cinematic masterpiece. It's just going to be fun. It's going to be fun. And sometimes you need that. You need that escape. And the family movies were always that escape. That, when they hit this big, that means something's going on. Now, weekend 2 will tell you if it's really a hit.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, the word of mouth, the buzz, it seems like it should. Our buddy Morbius, though, he nosedived 74%, decrease in its second week. Record low second weekend. There's no saving this movie.
No, I mean, we have too many good examples of good comic book movies.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, you can't put a subpar movie out in this genre and think, like, it's going to work. Like, I don't care how good your story is. And all of that seems pretty bad, too. So it's like, not only did you put a subpar movie, you didn't have good writing. Your character didn't seem like it. Like, nobody's asking. Like, I haven't seen anybody like, yeah, I want to see whatever the post-credit scene. I think we talked about it last week. I'm not sure if we did or not.
Yeah, we did.
We did? Okay. Well, where Adrian Toomes is, like, teaming up with him and, like, they're trying to integrate, Spider-Man's universe with this, or Tom Holland's Spider-Man universe with this. And there's a secret, like, connection to another Spider-Man that we don't know yet. So it's like, this movie's kind of, like, failing from what it could be. You know what I mean? Like, it could be good. They could do something out of this, but this movie's not that. And I mean, I had my roommate went and saw it with her boyfriend, and she was talking about how, like, she liked it, but she's, like, super casual and stuff. So, like, she doesn't know what Morbius is. Like, so maybe there's, like, a market for, like, people who don't know, like, anything about this character. They might like it, but as for the people who do know, especially, like, who grew up on the 90s animated Spider-Man, like, Morbius was a sick character in that thing. So it's like, you dropped the ball. You dropped the ball, Sony.
Right, exactly.
That's all it comes down to.
Sorry, Sony, you didn't fucked up. All right, there we go. There's my one.
There it goes.
Jane says the only kid family movie I can think of that did super were the Lego movies. Yeah, I mean the Lego movies were transcending. That was a pretty good movie. Hercules says here, honestly, Morbius might just be the wrong comic book character to have tried to make a film on. If they had tried a series with a more in-depth story, maybe.
Yeah, but to me, it's like you can't make a Morbius movie without Spider-Man in it at all. You know what I mean? Like, you could I think they also got blinded by the success of Venom because it worked with Venom. But Venom's Venom. Like, Venom is a recognizable character on his own. You know what I mean? Like, it's like the Joker of bad guys. It's like that level. It's like people know who Venom is. You know what I mean? And plus, they already did it in a live action. Morbius is something you need to have Spider-Man. Like, you need to introduce him in a Spider-Man movie the correct way. And then if you want to go on the backstory and, like, go deep dive his story, then you can do it. But you can't put it out and then expect to tie it into a Spider-Man story after the fact. Like, you're leaving yourself open for failure.
No, for sure. I mean, let's take a look. One last thing here. The box office tallies: 71 million. Morbius finished at 10.2 million this weekend. The Lost City, which is more of a comedy, which I thought would have done better, is 9.2 million.
Is that the one with Sandra Bullock and like
Yeah, yeah. I mean, that story looks actually pretty good. Ambulance stalled at 8.7 million, and the Batman rounds it out to 6.6 million. Morbius is going to be a huge disappointment for Sony, and it's going to cause some rippling effect for sure. All right, so that's again, that's I had posed that question: is it the greatest comic book movie? Only because, like I said, it made the money that says it should be.
You're clickbaiting.
I got you all into it.
I have to come with facts.
That's it. Jane says, we on a big Spider-Man kick right now. Oh, I saw you guys watch No Way Home the other day. I saw you guys on your Instagram feed, so hope the kids like that one for sure. Hercules Outlaw says, Venom is far more popular character, though, in my opinion. On top of that, with the success of Venom, he's definitely going to be making an appearance in the future. Oh, yeah. Venom is definitely a better franchise or better character to make a movie out of.
Venom's so popular that these movies are subpar too. They're not great movies, but it works for what they're doing. And Tom Hardy, they got a good Eddie Brock, but that's not Venom. You know what I mean? Like, that's not the Venom story. Like, Venom traditionally always comes from Peter Parker's. You know what I mean? And then the symbiote goes and finds Eddie Brock. So it's like they did an untraditional way, and it happened to work. And now, they're doing the same thing with Kraven the Hunter. Like, they're making a Kraven the Hunter movie. Now, I think Kraven Hunter is going to benefit from Morbius failing because now they're not blind. You know what I mean? They're not, like, fooled by, like, oh, it worked. Like, let's just throw this shit out there and see. No, like, they know they have to step up.
Well, Kraven's going to have to appear somewhere to tease that he's coming.
And that's why I think now, all of a sudden, they're like, oh, they took all the Spider-Man stuff out. Because I think Sony knew, like, with the success of, like, No Way Home, it opened a new avenue for Sony with what they can do with the previous Spider-Man, the Spider-Man universe in its entirety. They can have multiple Spider-Mans. They can have a movie where there's fucking 10 Spider-Man. You know what I mean? Like, if they really wanted to. But I think, like I said, they learned from the success of that, the failures of Morbius, and now they're like, oh, well, let's tease that there's a Morbius ties into another Spider-Man's universe, and we won't let them know until maybe when Kraven comes out. So we'll see, man. I'm still excited. I'm gonna eventually watch the movie. I'm not gonna not watch it, but I'm not, like you said, I'm not rushing.
No, for sure. Jane's got a comment here. Venom is the best anti-hero, and I think they're gonna go back and do it more traditionally. This round, they're definitely going to do more in the Spider-Verse for sure.
Yeah, we're getting a Madam Web movie, which is nuts.
Yeah, it's insane. Hercules says, I always remembered Eddie Brock as a Peter's high school bully. I'm hoping we get to see some crazy stuff with the multiverse of madness, see how many directions they can take the multiple storylines. And, Jane's telling us about when they watched No Way Home. All the kids cried at the end. Don't worry, I was tearing up too. Yeah. But I was there with a bunch of people. I couldn't let the llama tears flow.
You have to.
Let's see. Okay, so yeah, Multiverse of Madness is the next big thing, right? I got my tickets. I didn't have to stay up till 4:00 in the morning to get them this time around. Although it did crash ticket sites, and the good thing is they did a staggered start. They started the sales of those tickets like 6:00 in the morning, and sort of slowly trickled it out. Still crashed a bunch of websites. Still one of the biggest pre-sales out there. Again, I got my tickets. I can't wait.
The movie's gonna change the landscape of the MCU going forward. So I'm expecting a big movie. Maybe we should do something on the stream where it's just us talking about like what to expect and stuff, or maybe even the next episode. Like, let's have like a centered conversation because there's a lot of things that we could speculate a lot of stuff. I'm excited, man. I'm excited to see where these go.
And I'm kind of it's weird. I do and I don't. I don't want to know the leaks. And I know you know them.
I know, but at this point, I know so much that it's like what's real. It's gonna be. It's kind of hard to know what's real and what's not, because especially with this movie, like you hear everything. You know what I mean? Like, anybody can be in this movie.
Everything's on the table, and that's the good thing about this
exactly.
movie. I mean, you've already got Professor X, who's confirmed to be in the movie. But with Professor X and being the only thing that's been sort of released, I think that's a great move. I hope they don't tell us anything else, because the pre-sale is out of control. They've got the people coming in for the tickets. And then, you're going to want to see the spectacle. You're going to want to go see it to see who shows up in the movie, and because everybody's going to be talking about it the next day. Yeah. And so, unfortunately, I got to wait till Saturday.
Wow. This guy's going to have a llama rant for sure.
Oh, I'm going to have one.
There's no way. You're not. Honestly, by Thursday, there's going to be all over the internet.
Yeah. No. I'm going to be in trouble for sure.
I haven't even got the tickets. I'll just go when I go. But I'm going opening weekend at some point. It's just, I'm not, I'm not opposed to knowing what happens. It kind of gets me even more excited.
Yeah, no, I'm telling you, I can't do it. All right, guys. Well, listen, that's our show tonight. I want to thank everybody who was on the comment. We had Hercules, we had Jane, Gabe was back. Bruce was very, very heated about Volk. You got James, who was here, Big Homie. The Gillens were here, John and Chris. Goliath was here. Ace was in the house. I mean, it was just a who's who of the chat tonight. So, listen, I want to thank everybody for supporting the show, everyone for watching the show. Thank you for making us part of your Sunday night ritual, especially in the Hercules Outlaw House. Yep. Thank you so much for watching us week to week. We appreciate the support. Like we said, if you want to support the channel, we'll start with AD. Go over to Twitch. Blackout_AD is his Twitch stream and channel. Make sure you like and subscribe. Make sure you subscribe to his stream so you know when he posts videos and when he's on live. Do you have a post llama show tonight, or is that are you done?
I might not, because I gotta wake up early and I'm exhausted right now. I gotta wake up super early. But we should have a stream tomorrow, and there's a couple days I get out early, so we'll have like 3 or 4 streams this week coming up. So, I'm putting in the time, I'm putting in the effort. You guys come when you come. The streams are growing. We're having a lot of fun over there. We're expanding and getting better at being online personality. So keep making it happen, man.
For sure. Got a couple comments to close it out. Good night, everyone. Hugs and kisses. That's from Gabe. Don't forget to sub and stay tuned for the next episode. For sure. Best show on YouTube right now. And we have Llama, and we got the llama emojis. For sure. I would tell you this. The best damn show on the internet. I don't give a shit who says anything different. If you like this kind of content, give a like and subscribe. Support the Big Llama Show. Check me out on Instagram, Twitter, Twitch, wherever you see social media, I'm there. I am actually increasing my presence on TikTok, but dude, I'm not dancing on there. So unless
that's what the world wants to see you do.
You know what? When we hit 1,000, here's the challenge. When we hit 1,000 subs, right? I'll do whatever TikTok challenge if you hit me up with a super chat. A donation of a $20 to $25 super chat. I'll do whatever TikTok video you guys want. We'll see what happens there.
I'll send it myself.
If you don't like the llama show, all right, Gabe, coming with the fire, Gabe. I use my one thing. Oh, that's his one. Okay, no problem. Well, listen, guys. Thank you for tuning in. I'm the Big Llama. He's AD. Have a good night, everybody. We'll see you next Sunday night, 10 p.m. Eastern Standard.